I'm going to start this video off with a quote from Arthur Schopenhauer. For the world is hell, and men are on one hand the tormented souls, and on the other the devils in it. That's by Arthur Schopenhauer, the German pessimist philosopher. I love his work. But, that quote makes me think about the way that life takes innocent babies and over time morphs them into monsters. And, it's not just humans. It happens in the animal kingdom, but for humans, it's such a heartbreaking thing to watch. Really, even to consider. Like, you can have a baby brand new in your arms, and you're thinking to yourself, this kid is going to turn out great. He's going to live a wonderful life. He's going to be productive, and he's going to contribute to society. He's going to make someone happy. But then years go by, and this baby that you held gradually is turned into a monster. He's turned into something that you probably didn't even know would be the byproduct of your procreation. You didn't think about it. You didn't think that your kid could be the next Hitler or the next John Wayne Gacy or the next Ted Bundy. And I often think about the mothers of these men. Like, there was a time when they held these babies in their arms and they never once thought that they were raising literal monsters. And, it's hard for me to blame these individuals, at least in totality. I can't blame the victims of life, because even these men with their heinous actions and the things that they've done, they too were the victims of this process. You have to understand that when we are born into this world, we are thrust upon situations and circumstances that mold our character. They mold who we are and who we become. And these circumstances oftentimes are out of our control. We can't help what we are exposed to. We can't help the influences that we will have in our life that determine our actions or the way that we think. So it's just a really bad process, And in a way, it makes me very sympathetic toward the human race, because I understand that we are creatures so frail. We are very frail. We have little to no control over anything in our own lives. We are imposed upon into this world, and we have no say-so. We don't even get to determine when the fuck we want to die. We can't even do it. We can't do it. You've got the governments telling you, you can't end your life with dignity. We won't give you a dignified death with euthanasia. So you have to suffer. You literally are brought into this world, and you have to suffer. For what? For what? What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose? And all these stories, they go so south. They just go south. And I just wish people would really consider that they would take into consideration that when they are producing children, they are creating the very possibility of their children being the next rapist, the next serial killer, the next burglar, the next criminal in general. Life doesn't just create standard robotic people. And while there might seem to be more sane, quote unquote, people around, you never know the thought processes of these individuals that you see on the street day to day. You don't know that. You don't know if they're thinking about going home and slitting their wife's throat, or killing their kids, or getting into their car and just running people over. You don't know what people think. It's taken for granted that everybody is just going to be an upstanding citizen who follows the law. But life has already shown us constantly that that's not going to be the case for everyone. So instead of creating that outcome, I would like to make the plea to those of you who are not parents, but who are probably thinking about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because when you do that, you are creating more suffering and you're creating someone who's going to fill up another grave. But before that happens, you're also creating someone who can cause a lot of damage themselves. And ask yourself, is it worth taking the chance that I should offer my baby to life for it to be molded and turned into a monster? Am I willing to even take that chance? And if you are empathetic enough, if you are understanding enough, I will hope that you will make the right choice and say, no, it's not worth it. No, it's not worth me giving my baby over to the monster-making machine that is life. No, it's not worth it that my baby will be the next heinous murderer. Please spare your children from all of these negative harms and negative things that life can do to them and to others through them. Don't reproduce, please.